Saka tinchimboona wamira sei pari zvino tambomira kuti mboona mugodhi uri kuita sei sezvo avo vanhu vakatofa kare tangomirira kuti toziva kuti chero mapfupa avo tinchimbobuditsa chipama dzavo.
The Beos community is now worried over the number of days it is taking to retrieve the bodies.
Vakomana vedu vari kutibatsiridza magamba aya vabatsiridzwewo kuti vashande vakasununguka vachinotora vamwe vavo. Zvino chatai kuchema mazuva awanda vana vari pano vamwe vari kubuda vana vakashata nezuro vanhu vakatiza mumwe achiburitswa vana vashata. Tiri kuchema kuti maybe munogona kudaro paine mumwe akanodukawo paakaduka akakwanisa kuzobuda ari mupenyu asi hazvichati nzara ichavauraya varimo mukati imomo. Mvura iri kusimuka kubva kuna mupfure. Dzimwe nguva inogona kuvasvikira vana ava vaifanirwa kurarama ari pakatombo paakaduka ichamuumbura achifanirwa kuzorarama.
Minister Mchangwa consoled the bereaved families and saluted the search team for their bravery before expressing government concern over safety issues in the small-scale mining sector.
We need to make sure that we improve safety, we improve the inspectorate of the mines so that safety issues are continuously addressed so that the environment of digging gold is safe. There was a resolution by the cabinet that we want to do much more to ensure that there is a safe environment for young gold miners.
Ambassador Mchangwa was accompanied by the Mashonaland West Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo. Tamba Ogagora, ZBC News.
More than 20 people have been arrested since the beginning of this year on allegations of impersonating officials from the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission.
The Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission has raised alarm over a surge in the number of fraudsters who are masquerading as officials from the Anti-Graft Commission and demanding payment from people purportedly being investigated. ZAC spokesperson Commissioner Thandi Umlovane warned would-be offenders that justice will be served on them.
I can confirm that there are bogus ZAC officials on the prowl, and these have been fleecing the public of their hard-earned income. And we would like to let the public know that they need to pay particular attention to a lot of areas in which they operate. Largely what they've done, what we've noticed and observed, that these fake ZAC officials do, they would be suspecting that someone has maybe committed a crime, and then that person is told to say, give us some money so that we can destroy the dockers that ZAC already has. In fact, that would be a complete lie.
The suspects are Tinashe Mere, Peter Maudzeka, Nyashandumo, Lakmo Makwara, and Raymond Banda O of Harare, who were arrested and appeared in court this week on allegations of impersonating ZAC officials. Allegations are that on the 26th of last month, Tinashe Mere and David Nyasuka, who is still at large, approached a car dealer in Harare where they tried to swindle him of money after they allegedly pretended to be investigating him. Their plan, however, went wrong when the suspects allegedly produced fake ZAC identity cards, leading to their arrest. A four-member gang of Dick Mchikambizi, Crispin Manda, and Maxwell Mahota has already been convicted and jailed, while another group of suspects that include Felix Rmaunga, Five Geza, and Neti Tembo is awaiting trial. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The National Social Security Authority's Safety and Health at Work Indaba ended in Victoria Falls this Friday. Stakeholders reaffirmed the importance of collaborations and strengthening of the judiciary to handle occupational health and safety cases.
Work-related accidents remain a major cause for concern, with over 40 fatalities and above 2,000 crippling injuries having been recorded at the workplace in the first 6 months of the year. Experts contend that 98% of the accidents are avoidable but caused by minimal and low investment in occupational health and safety at the workplace and negligence by both employers and employees.
Unfortunately, our success rate in terms of prosecution, they have not been very good. for many reasons. One, actually, our justice system is not very good when it comes to prosecuting health and safety cases. We have sent in a lot of cases for prosecution, but they've not really gone very far. We certainly need to improve on that by way of training our lawyers on occupational safety and health.
Labour and employers confirmed the effectiveness of the Indaba.
We had also insights in terms of the current occupational health and safety bill that is currently being formulated in Zimbabwe.
Our key main takeaway point is for us to have attainance of a workplace that is free from hazardous and that is also in compliance with occupational safety and health standards. It needs a collective approach.
Zimbabwe is reeling under undesirable occupational health statistics which are costing the globe between 4 and 10% of gross domestic product. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Non-governmental and civic organizations based in Zimbabwe have pledged to work with the country in the event of natural disasters.
Highlighting Cyclone Idai recovery plan milestones and achievements over a 4-year period in Harare this Friday, representatives of different aid organizations said they are ready to assist the country in future. This comes after various aid organizations came to the rescue of the country following the 2019 Cyclone Idai disaster.
When disaster strikes, we go down onto the ground and we respond with what we call emergency response, where we provide, depending on the type of disaster, if it's floods and people need housing, we'll provide tents, we'll provide what we call non-food items. So those are your kitchen essentials, your hygiene kits for both men and for women. And we also go on the ground to identify those people that have been affected and find out what are their needs presently, and then we try and address those as quickly as we can.
World Bank Acting Country Manager Mrs. Fadzai Mkonoweshiro had a word of advice on how to reduce the impact of natural disasters.
One key lesson is really about building back better, particularly in the face of future disasters. So I'll give examples of where the partners went about building back better. We do have a number of schools whereby the designs were constructed in such a manner that in the event of any cyclones or any other unfortunate disasters of the nature of this cyclone that happened, we actually had schools that had roofs that could not be blown.
Government has learned valuable lessons from the 2019 Cyclone Idai in terms of disaster preparedness.
We are, strengthening the CPU, the Civil Protection Unit, and also strengthening the Build Better concept, which was launched. And as we started at the function, the meteorological department, the weather forecasting, has been significantly enhanced to strengthen the early warning systems. So that's in place as well.
The cyclone Idai pummeled the eastern parts of Zimbabwe, with Chimanimani and Chipinge being the worst affected. Since then, government has been working with its developmental partners in implementing a robust recovery plan to construct schools, roads, bridges, and housing units for people displaced by the weather phenomenon. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Spain's leading gastronomic university, Basque Culinary Center, has expressed a willingness to share knowledge and skills with students from Zimbabwe, courtesy of the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, was invited to attend and address the 8th United Nations World Tourism Organization Forum on Gastronomy in Spain, brought along students from various universities in Zimbabwe in a first-of-its-kind move to enhance their knowledge in the field of gastronomy. Dr. Mnangagwa, who is the country's tourism and hospitality patron, is working in partnership with local universities to promote culinary arts, gastronomy tourism, and the uptake of traditional foods. This Friday, the students students toured a leading European gastronomic university, Basque Culinary Center, located in Donostia, San Sebastian, where they got a rare opportunity to gain hands-on practical experience, learning different cooking techniques, food preparation and serving skills, among others. The Basque Culinary Center, which offers bachelor's degree, master's and PhD programs in gastronomic sciences, is also a research and innovation center for new products and services, sensory health sustainability and digital transformation. Extremely appreciative of the First Lady's presence at the Gastronomy Forum, Basque Culinary Center General Manager Mr. Jorge Maria Aizega hinted at the possibility of student exchange opportunities between the top gastronomy entity and Zimbabwe tertiary institutions.
We are very privileged to have a big delegation from Zimbabwe and to have the First Lady at the forum. And it has been a very pleasant activity to welcome the Zimbabwe students from the best universities in Zimbabwe, to show them and to share with them how we do it here, the education, the cooking education, the service, the management, the scientific education, and I see them very committed with a lot of energy about the future, so I think they are going to be big professionals. This mutual knowledge will open possibilities for exchange and collaboration in the future.
Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Honorable Barbara Rodzi saluted the First Lady for promoting the country's gastronomy tourism development.
It is indeed an honor and privilege to have Her Excellency, the First Lady of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, as a patron in our ministry. Her brainchild for cookout competitions that started 2021 is now landed us here in Spain, right here in San Sebastian. And today, through her initiative of inviting the universities on board for the growth of gastronomy tourism, we are here today with Vice Chancellor Professor Mafumo from UZ, with 6 students from various universities in the country, learning, experiencing and having exposure about what exactly gastronomy tourism is about, which is what the First Lady has a vision about and where she wants to take gastronomy tourism for the country Zimbabwe. Now she's been honored and she's been recognized, she's been respected by the UNWTO about the work that she started. For us it's a privilege and we are very happy, and we are looking forward to growing gastronomy tourism in our country further and bigger through her guidance.
Representing tertiary institutions, University of Zimbabwe Vice Chancellor Professor Paul Mafumo described the First Lady as an icon who has helped shape the education framework from theory to practical learning. Professor Mafumo is optimistic the partnership between the Angel of Hope Foundation and local universities will boost gastronomy tourism and traditional food innovation in Zimbabwe.
The First Lady has become an icon of traditional cookout competitions, on promotion of the traditional values, including gastronomy tourism. And this, to us as universities, changes the whole outlook of our education. We are changing from being theorists to being practically oriented. The universities are beginning to embark on use and processing, value addition of traditional foods, and this wouldn't be any better time to get insights on how this can be actualized at the practical level. As universities, we were quite honored to be partnering the Angel of Hope Foundation under the visionary leadership of the First Lady.
The students could not hide their joy for the enriching experience.
I would like to express my appreciation to the First Lady for this once-in-a-lifetime experience to see this beautiful city and experience its culture and appreciate the science and technology that is offered here at Basque Culinary. What I have learned here is they converge the science and practice together, which means that the science that they learn in the classrooms is able to have a real-life application, such as the product development. There is a sensory facility that allows the students to do wine tasting and various other beverages, which could enable them to test their products and then have them served to customers. As a Zimbabwean student, I have benefited the experience to appreciate the process firsthand, because this is science-based, which means that it guarantees food safety. And at the same time, it gives a student the opportunity to have a real-life experience of knowing how it is to serve a real-time customer. And that gives experience to go into the real world. And taking this home, I'm going to share with my colleagues.
I would like to thank Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa Amaivedu for the opportunity to be selected as one of the students to come and explore. We've been exploring their ways of preparing their traditional foods. This has been an exciting exploration. I think we can also adopt it in Zimbabwe, where students can also cook our traditional foods as part of their practical lessons. Then people from the community can also come and buy this food.
Through the First Lady's guidance, tertiary institutions in Zimbabwe have begun exploring the benefits derived from traditional grains and indigenous foods in their innovation hubs, a move which is expected to create jobs and boost economic growth. Festus Mkongurutse, ZBC News, San Sebastian, Spain.
Or for more news, do log into our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw. Also follow us on our X handle at ZBC News Online, as well as on Facebook, we are ZBC News Online.
Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ZBC News Online. Here are stories still to expect. Gwanda man in close shave with death after spear attack.
In sport, Highlanders continue to lose ground as FC Platinum claim bragging rights in the Platinum Derby. We'll return with these stories and more after the break. Stay with us.
You have helped build Tel1, a better Tel1 and the world around us. A better world where we can live together, learn together, play together, work together, grow together. Our journey together continues today. Now we must focus on making our future even better. A better future for our children. Join us and let us do this together. Tel1, the future is better together.
They want Buttercup.
They want Buttercup. We want Buttercup cause it's healthy. We want Buttercup at our school. We want Buttercup on our table. We want Buttercup, that's the rule. When it really matters, Buttercup margarine.
Buttercup margarine, extra goodness for you and your family.
Important notice from the Ministry of Health and Childcare.
The fourth round of polio vaccination for all children under 5 years of age in Zimbabwe starts on Tuesday 10 October to Friday 13 October 2023. Ministry of Health and Childcare teams will visit homes to vaccinate and protect all children. Vaccination will also take place in all health centers, markets, churches, bus stations, and other public places during these days. The nationwide polio vaccination campaigns were initiated in 2022 following the detection of poliomyelitis cases in Malawi and Mozambique. Polio is a dangerous disease that can cause paralysis or death of children. Protect your child by having them vaccinated from 10 to 13 October 2023. The child's left finger will be painted to indicate that they have been vaccinated. Let us join hands to keep Zimbabwe polio-free. This message is brought to you in the best interest of children by the Ministry of Health and Childcare, with support from WHO, UNICEF, and other partners.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Well, our next story is not your usual escape from death report, but thanks to the professionalism at our medical institutions, the man in this report is lucky to be alive.
Yes, very lucky to be alive because it wasn't much of a good look when it comes to how his attempted murder occurred. So a 23-year-old man from Uganda is lucky to be alive after an attack by a rival suitor who left him with a spear thrust into his mouth and pinning his head to the chest.
The man had a successful operation at the United Bulawayo hospitals to remove the spear early this week. Let's find out.
Freeman Ngobe is fortunate to live to tell what befell him early this week when he decided to visit the mother of his 2-year-old daughter he had separated with.
So umuntu lana nyakhonkoda izinto zengifikile yadini. Umuntu lana uphuma wahlwa amaphandle. Wayethela ispotlight. So wanhlanga nge-spotlight. Ngiyadricha for 10 meters. Ngidriche ngitshela ukuthi ngizakubulala wena. Ngiyabona ukuthi lapho ngidrichela khona emva kubalekela khona kula mizi liganga. Ngiyabona ukuthi ukuma kawani kungcono. Yabe sengisiwe. Ikhona ebuya enhlabe ebaleka.
Ear, nose and throat specialist Dr. John Kutsukutsa, who was among 5 doctors who took part in the 2-hour operation to remove the spear, said Mr. Ngobe was lucky to be alive because the spear missed the major veins.
I got a call, I think it was around 2 a.m. from Uganda to say we have a patient with a spear in the neck. You know, I'm used to neck trauma because that's what I always do. I didn't expect anything dramatic. So we said, send across the patient. Patient got here in the morning, and yeah, it was a horrible sight with the spear still in situ. So it went through the upper lip. One of the upper teeth is out, fell out. The lower teeth were chipped. Went through the lip, out into the root of the neck. Went through one of the big neck muscles, what we call the sternocleidomastoid. So underneath the sternocleidomastoid, that's where you find the carotid sheath. That is the big bundle with the big vessels that supply the head and neck structures. So if it had gotten into the carotid, you wouldn't have made it here.
UBH head of surgery Dr. Tongesai Mukosera said the operation was a collective effort of doctors from his institution as well as other experts from Bilo Hospital.
Having also taken part in this operation, what I just commend is teamwork and how colleagues from Pilo actually responded to the call. They came promptly and were able to guide each other and come out with such a successful story.
The Minister of State for Bulawayo Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Judith Ncube, said the level of dedication and expertise displayed by the doctors to save the speared men is commendable.
We are so proud. Let other countries read about our success stories. Let other people, the doubting Thomases, let's prove them wrong, because we still have our professionals within the country.
Zimbabwe continues to record remarkable strides in the health sector. A lot of success stories are being recorded in open heart surgeries, as well as in the construction of health institutions. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
It is impressive to see our own medical field playing a major role in helping people in such cases survive. It's now time for us to cross over to our Montrose studios. Sibokele Maposa is on standby. Sibokele, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Tanaka and Justin. Good evening, Zimbabwe. School students and pupils have once again been reminded to stay away from drugs and substance abuse and focus on developmental education.
Drug and substance abuse among Zimbabwean school children is threatening their future, with parents being challenged to play a huge role in ensuring that their children are not hooked up. This was the motherly advice of Colonel Miniotabo Baloyi Chiwenga, the spouse of Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, when she officiated at a prize-giving day at Glogo High School in Bubi district of Matabeleland North Province.
Without discipline, we are losing the future. We are losing our children. We are living in a society whereby we are about to lose a whole generation to the scourge of drugs. Some of you who have been following the addresses by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, he said, abantwana nxa besenza ongayisikho ubashaye. Umshaye umntwana aqonde azathi ntabanje. So kumele sibashaye nxa bengalaleli. Kudala sasifuna ukukopa izinto esizifunda kwamanye ama-culture kuthiwa abantwana abatshayo. And when we started that approach, that's when we started having a whole lot of problems whereby our children cannot even be controlled.
Glogo High School head Mr. Gamuledu Ncube said the institution is also focusing on practical skills to empower students with life-supporting skills.
We have got a deliberate bias towards our practical subjects and allow for two specific reasons. Reason number one, it is because it is in the will of Uglog, the person that donated this farm to the Presbyterian Church. In his will, Uglog Utikona, on this farm should be established a school where natives, that is the term that is actually used in the will, where natives should be taught craft, and by craft he was actually referring to our practical subjects.
He said transformed education is key to national development and the empowerment of communities. Sifiso Spanda, ZBC News, Bubi.
The government is aligning the educational framework for primary and secondary education to the national development requirements, with its attention on the role of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics (STEM) in the industrialization of the country's economy.
As government seeks to ensure equal access to technology and computer literacy in all schools, Chadzamira Secondary School in Gutu is the latest beneficiary, following the establishment of science and computer laboratories at the institution. The laboratories, established by a cement manufacturing company, PPC, will help bridge the digital gap between rural and urban schools.
akaita kuti tikwanisewo kurisecha zvinhu zvatisingazivi. Tanga tichingonzwa kuti kune makombiyuta asi tasingamazivi, asi zvino tagona kushandisa kurisecha makala.
Speaking after commissioning the laboratories, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Torerai Moyo, said Government is also training teachers to deliver in critical skills shortage areas such as STEM.
The government is funding the teacher capacity development program for the accelerated capacitation of our teachers to deliver in critical skills shortage areas such as STEM.
The provision of devolution funds by government has helped Masvingo province to establish science laboratories in rural schools.
In order to improve access to and quality of education, 54 new classrooms are being constructed, old blocks rehabilitated, and 10 classrooms are being converted into science laboratories.
The development at Chadzamira High School, which includes establishing gardening projects, is part of PPC's corporate social responsibility.
It is imperative that we equip our students with the necessary skills and knowledge to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Government recognizes the importance of partnering the private sector in ensuring infrastructure development, including in the education sector, hence the construction of schools under the public-private partnership. Messi Bof, ZBC News, Gutu.
The Second Republic's decision to dedicate a ministry for veterans of the struggle has received plaudits from the quarters, as this will expedite policy developments for the constituency.
The ruling party's War Veterans League held its quarterly meeting in Harare this Saturday, where they had a post-mortem of the election while also re-looking at party systems. The leadership said the establishment of the Ministry of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle is a welcome development.
We have also proceeded to look at the positive that finally the war veterans got a ministry. And that ministry is going to look at the problems that bedevils the lives of the war veterans. We are grateful.
The engagement also sought to address the role of affiliate organizations.
In future, we think there is need for affiliates to have structures right down to the grassroots level. The mobilization committee requires attention, that it meets regularly and employ its wings. The party must employ its wings. They are the mobilizing party.
Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF Harare Provincial Coordination Committee has made its resolutions ahead of the party's annual National People's Conference set for the Midlands Province later this month.
Tinotsigira president mumabasa ose avari kuita ekuvandudza nyika yedu. Tinoda kutaura pano kuti Jim Kunakanasi auya netsamba yake yekuapply application yake yekuita rejoin the party. Neanoitwa Kumbula aunza zvekare application yake, saka tichagara sedare reprovince kuti tiongorore nyaya iyoyo.
The ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference will be held from the 28th to 29th of October in Gweru. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibugele Maposa. Now circling back to Pocket Hill, where Tanaka and Justin will take us through the rest of the bulletin.
Thank you very much, Sibo Kele and the whole team at Montrose. Now we look at news from beyond the country's borders, where at least 100 people have died in Israel after a Palestinian militant group, Hamas, launched its biggest attack in years. Militants crossed the Israel from Gaza under the cover of heavy rocket fire. The BBC reports that Israel has responded with a wave of airstrikes on targets in Gaza, killing 198 people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country is at war and vowed that Hamas, the militant group that rules Gaza, will pay a price it has never known. This is one of the most serious escalations in the Israel-Palestinian conflict in years. The attack by Hamas saw fighters cross the perimeter fence at just after dawn. The same time, barrages of rockets were launched from Gaza, some reaching as far as the cities of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. It is not yet clear how the gunmen managed to penetrate one of the most heavily fortified borders in the world. The Israeli military has said dozens of fighter jets are carrying out airstrikes on Hamas sites in Gaza, and it has hit 17 Hamas military compounds. It also said it has mobilized tens of thousands of revisits. The Palestinian Health Ministry says 198 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes and another 1,610 have been injured.
From international news, we take a look at business news. Stay with us. We'll be back.
The government of the Republic of Zimbabwe will host the 20th International Interministerial Conference on South-to-South and Triangular Cooperation in Population and Development at Elephant Hills Resort in Victoria Falls from 9 to 10 October 2023. The conference is held in conjunction with partners in population and development, the United Nations Population Fund, and other local partners. The platform will enable ministers, high-level officials, subject experts, representatives from development partners, and youth leaders to discuss and agree on the priority actions to be taken to attain the unfinished agenda of the International Conference on Population and Development. ICPD set the standard for people-centered development, prioritizing human rights, including reproductive rights, empowering young women, men, boys, and girls, addressing inequalities as well as the needs, aspirations, and rights of individual women and men. The conference aims to deliver on the vision of the ICPD agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs.
Applications are invited from suitably qualified and experienced candidates to fill in the position of finance officer that has arisen in the finance department, Pockets Hill, Harare. Reporting to assistant management accountant, the incumbent will be responsible for the following among others: computation of cost-benefit analysis, assisting the assistant management accountant in preparation of management accounts and reports, costing of products and services, and any other duties as may be assigned from time to time. The ideal candidate should have the following qualifications and attributes: a bachelor's degree in finance or accounting from a recognized institution, professional qualifications Part B or full ACA, CIMA, CIS, or equivalent from a recognized institution, excellent computer skills in Excel, superb analytical skills, and a minimum of 3 years working experience in a similar position. Interested and qualified persons should hand deliver their applications with comprehensive CVs, certified copies of academic and professional qualifications by no later than 14 October 2023, addressing them to the Director, Human Resources and Administration, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, number 1 North End Road, Pockets Hill, Highlands, Harare. You can also visit our ZBC website for more information. Important notice from the Ministry of Health and Childcare. The 4th round of polio vaccination for all children under 5 years of age in Zimbabwe starts on Tuesday 10 October to Friday 13 October 2023. Ministry of Health and Childcare teams will visit homes to vaccinate and protect all children. Vaccination will also take place in all health centers, markets, churches, bus stations, and other public places during these days. The nationwide polio vaccination campaigns were initiated in 2022 following the detection of poliomyelitis cases in Malawi and Mozambique. Polio is a dangerous disease that can cause paralysis or death of children. Protect your child by having them vaccinated from 10 to 13 October 2023. The child's left finger will be painted to indicate that they have been vaccinated. Let us join hands to keep Zimbabwe polio-free. This message is brought to you in the best interest of children by the Ministry of Health and Childcare, with support from WHO, UNICEF, and other partners.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Women have been challenged to take advantage of government support towards their enterprises and broaden their participation in the economic affairs of the country.
It was a colorful event on Friday night as 62 women were honored at the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce ZNCC Women in Enterprise Awards in Mutare. Some of the outstanding winners include Mrs. Christina Taranike, who got 3 accolades, while Mrs. Delphine Mbanje, Mrs. Judith Shadaya, Mrs. Rachel Mugwagwa and Nomsa Chiazwa scooped 2 awards each. The winners could not hide their excitement, describing the awards as motivation to upscale their efforts.
We need to regenerate our soils to be able to produce and feed the nation.
The women, especially the African women in Zimbabwe, they must not fear any type of a job, any type of work.
I've been in business for 20 years and it's not has been easy.
My vision as my Chief Makoni is to take the leading role in Makoni in empowering the people of Maungwe.
I've trained a lot of women in the province, and my success has been attributed to the fact that I've been consistent and very hardworking, and it is driven by passion. I want to see all women businesses succeed.
Government assured women of its commitment to see them excel.
I urge you all to take full advantage of the commitments made to you by the Second Republic under the wise and able leadership of the President, His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Zimbabwe has unwavering commitment to promoting women empowerment. Clearly, you can see that the President puts a lot of importance into women. I was told when I was given this job that women are the nerve root of any nation. SMEs are the pulse of the economy. Community development is the grassroots.
The Zimstad 2021 survey revealed that there are 3.4 million small to medium enterprises, and 56% of these are women enterprises that are largely informal. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
From business news, we take a look at arts. The much-awaited Jacaranda Music Festival, which kicked off this Friday, is living up to its billing, with various local and international artists performing at the Old Hararians Sports Club.
The festival, which has so far proved its worth this Friday, continued this Saturday, attracting a star-studded lineup of local and international artists. Event organizers and revelers alike are excited with how the gig has turned out. The show will see tonight hosting multiple Grammy Award winners Lady Smith, Blake Mambazo, Black Motion and Yvonne Chaka Chaka. The lineup sees a celebration of top performing artists from Zimbabwe, including Tab Moyo, XQ, Selma Mtukudzi and Amara Brown. The 3-day festival runs from Friday to Sunday at Old Hararian Sports Club. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Harare.
The need for parents to embrace and nurture artistic talent took center stage at the Jenaguru Arts Festival in Whitecliff, Harare this Friday.
Whitecliff residents thronged ETG Learning Center in Whitecliff this Friday for the second edition of the Jenaguru Arts Festival, aimed at promoting creativity and inculcating traditional values among young people.
We have to know our own culture and belief.
The brains behind the program, Anis Maibek and Whitecliff Ward 35 Councillor Ephraim Gonzo, explained the objective of the festival.
Recently, vana community medu vari kuaffectwa nema-drug abuse, nema-early marriages nezvinhu zvakawanda wanda. Saka zvinhu izvozvo chiri kuita kuti vapinde muzvinhu izvozvo, lack of activities. So takati, why not isusu we start engaging those kids? Totanga kuvadzidzisa art inospread awareness.
Kune mitambo yaitwa yechivanhu yeJenaguru kudhaya yaasaitwa izvezvi. Saka we wanted kutora that culture yakudhaya kuti rambe ichicontinue. Saka kunokuwa 35, this is the second year I think this year it's more bigger than really last year.
Guest of honor, ZANU-PF Women's League political commissar, Comrade May Bimbowa, held the initiative, adding that the programs are key in preventing criminal behavior.
Kurasa kwatataita hunhu hwedu zvabva zvaita kuti vana vedu havasisina culture vava kupinda mumadrugs kwava nama-early marriages saka isu semadzimai tinobatikana zvikuru. The
Whitecliff Jenaguru Arts Festival is an annual program launched in 2022. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Enzo Aisha was on pole position on the Radio Zimbabwe chart show this week with his song Teaser.
Teaser moved 3 places to claim pole position this week from 4 in the last show. Tindongwazi was relegated to 2nd position with his song Musatipedzera Nguva. Prince Chigwida is still in the chart with his song Ndireverere Ndipone claiming 3rd position. Daima Gonesa by the Macheso siblings dropped to position 5 from 3 last week. Zinja's Yamluma's Ewood Nandini remix joined the rest this week. Shoto by Rainbow Pot was on position 17 from 16 last week. Patience Nyaga to ZBC News, Harare.
And that's the arts. Next, we look at sport after the break.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
This start is getting better and better and better.
All in HD.
It just makes no sense.
Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Stay connected for all the action. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Important notice from the Ministry of Health and Childcare. The 4th round of polio vaccination for all children under 5 years of age in Zimbabwe starts on Tuesday 10 October to Friday 13 October 2023. Ministry of Health and Childcare teams will visit homes to vaccinate and protect all children. Vaccination will also take place in all health centers, markets, churches, bus stations, and other public places during these days. The nationwide polio vaccination campaigns were initiated in 2022 following the detection of poliomyelitis cases in Malawi and Mozambique. Polio is a dangerous disease that can cause paralysis or death of children. Protect your child by having them vaccinated from 10 to 13 October 2023. The child's left finger will be painted to indicate that they have been vaccinated. Let us join hands to keep Zimbabwe polio-free. This message is brought to you in the best interest of children by the Ministry of Health and Childcare, with support from WHO, UNICEF, and other partners.
Applications are invited from suitably qualified and experienced candidates to fill the position of payroll officer that is arisen in the Human Resources and Administration Department, Pockets Hill, Harare. Reporting to the payroll accountant, the incumbent will be responsible for the following among others: capturing and processing all engagements, terminations, and updates on current employees, capturing accurately all payroll input relating to employee monthly payments, additions, deductions, and other variables, preparing and submitting all monthly statutory third-party payments and returns in line with deadlines, and any other duties as may be assigned from time to time. The ideal candidate should have the following qualifications and attributes: a degree in human resources management or finance or equivalent, a diploma in payroll management or equivalent, at least 1 year's experience in a similar role, must be able to handle large payroll volumes. Interested and qualified persons should submit their applications with comprehensive CVs, certified copies of academic and professional qualifications by not later than 13 October 2023 to the Director, Human Resources and Administration, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, PO Box HG 444 Highlands, Harare, or email hr@zbc.co.zw. Welcome back. Time now for sport. Defending champions FC Platinum claimed bragging rights in the Platinum Derby after beating Ngezi 1-0 on a day Highlanders' misery continued following their loss to Simba Bora.
A 2-minute strike by Jarison Selemani was all the defending champions needed to cut the gap separating them with log leaders Ngezi Platinum Stars to 5 points. The defending champions, who had earned the underdog tag in their title defense, were back to serious business and are now on course to defend their crown for the 5th time with 8 games remaining. With this team now on 46 points and on second position, FC Platinum head coach Norman Mapeza was on cloud 9 while his opposite number Tekshua Chiragwi was gracious in defeat.
My biggest worry was fatigue. We had a difficult game. You can't complain when you lose the game like this way. They got a free kick. We failed to defend the free kick, and they capitalized on that. Okay, it was early stages of the game.
In Bulawayo, 2 penalties scored by Rafael Kawandera and Michael Charamba ensured Chicken in Shade spoils with Manica Diamonds, who are now on 4th position on the log.
It's a totally different game. The way we played the cup game, the performance, and this one is totally different. The way we've been playing league games is much better.
It was frustrating, but I think looking at the last two games that we lost, we were leading and teams were coming in, scoring 2 goals. And today, at least we managed the point.
Baobab Simba Bora compounded Highlanders' woes after thumping them 3-0, while struggling Army side Black Rhinos won a 7-goal thriller against ZPC Kariba. Action continues this Sunday with Harare Giants Dynamos playing a tricky rental side at the National Sports Stadium. Wange host Caps United at the Colliery. Yada played Triangle. Greenfield welcome Cranbourne Bullets, and Shisha have a date with Bulawayo Chiefs at Bata Stadium. Mthokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Malawi have qualified for the semi-finals of the COSAFA Women's Championships after clobbering Eswatini 8-0 at the Dobsonville Stadium in Soweto, South Africa this Saturday.
Tengwa Chawinga was the star of the show on day 4 of the 2023 COSAFA Championship after scoring 4 second-half goals as his side annihilated Eswatini 8-0 in a Group A clash in the first match of the day. Tengwa Chawinga was the star of the show on day 4 of the 2023 COSAFA Women's Championship after scoring 4 second-half goals as his side annihilated Eswatini 8-0 in a Group A clash in the first match of the day. The feat also took her tally to 7 goals in 2 matches so far. Before the China-based Chawinga took over, Sabina Thom had opened the scoring with a brace, while Carolina Matoya and Rosa Kadzere also registered their names on the score sheet. Malawi are at the summit of Group A with 6 points, followed by host South Africa, who defeated Madagascar 3-1 in the second Group A match at the same venue to give themselves a qualifying lifeline. A first half penalty converted by Tubelise Shamase and the second half brace by Samkeli Sosalena gave the Banyana all the 3 points, and importantly a chance at fighting to qualify for the semi-finals. 7-10 champions South Africa are second on the group standings with 3 points, same as Eswatini, who dropped to third due to goal difference. The top 3 sides in all groups and the best placed runner progress to the semi-finals. South Africa and Eswatini meet in the final group match. Lawrence Tuseda, ZBC News, Johannesburg.
That report wrapping up the news at 8 for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us from the entire ZBC News team. Pleasant viewing and good night.
Good night.